Why more people are adopting electric vehicles now. Are you prepared to become part of the revolution of electric vehicles? Electric vehicles are no longer just a futuristic dream. They're the here and now. If you're wondering why more and more people are ditching gas guzzlers for electric cars, join us on this electrifying journey. We'll talk about the many reasons why electric cars are taking the world by storm, from their sleek looks to their jaw-dropping performance. Relax and fasten your seatbelts because you're about to learn why the EV revolution is only getting started. The buzz these days is about electric cars, and it's not hard to see why. With EV sales accounting for 5.6% of the total auto market in the second quarter of 2022, up from just 2.7% in the same quarter of the previous year, it's clear that the popularity of electric cars is on the rise. Clean energy, improved performance, and government incentives are driving this trend, and we're here to explore the ins and outs of this exciting sector. From sleek sports cars to family-friendly SUVs, let's dive deeper into why EVs are the future of transportation. Chapter 1. Initial concerns. Before electric vehicles began to gain popularity, there were concerns about their viability as a practical mode of transportation. Some of the primary concerns included limited driving range. One of the primary concerns with electric vehicles was that they had a limited driving range compared to gasoline-powered vehicles. In the early days of electric vehicles, this was a major obstacle for many drivers, as they could not travel long distances without needing to stop and recharge. Longer charging times. Another concern with electric vehicles was that they took longer to charge compared to filling up a gas tank. In the early days of electric vehicles, the charging infrastructure was not as developed as it is today, which meant that finding a charging station could be challenging. Furthermore, many charging stations only offered slow charging rates, meaning electric vehicle owners had to plan their journeys carefully to ensure they could reach their destinations without running out of charge. Upfront cost. Electric vehicles can be more expensive to purchase upfront compared to traditional gasoline-powered cars. The upfront cost of electric vehicles has historically been higher than traditional gasoline-powered cars, which has been a significant concern for many potential buyers. The higher upfront cost is due to the relatively high cost of the battery packs that power electric vehicles. In addition, electric vehicles often have more advanced technology and features than gasoline-powered cars, which can also contribute to the higher cost. Limited availability of charging infrastructure. When electric vehicles first began to gain popularity, there were concerns about the availability of charging infrastructure. This concern was especially relevant for those who frequently drove long distances or relied on their vehicles for work. Without sufficient charging stations, electric vehicle owners could experience range anxiety, the fear of running out of battery power while on the road. Another issue is the scarcity of charging stations made it more challenging for potential electric vehicle buyers to consider switching to an electric vehicle. They were worried that they would be unable to find a charging station when needed, making owning an electric vehicle impractical. These concerns were valid at the time, as electric vehicles were still relatively new, and battery technology was not as advanced as it is today. However, as electric vehicles have become more widespread and technology has improved, these concerns are being addressed, leading to more widespread adoption of electric vehicles. Some of the reasons why more people are now adopting electric vehicles are the environmental impact. The environmental impact is one of the main reasons why people are shifting to electric vehicles. Combustion engine vehicles have been polluting the air and harming the environment for a long time. In contrast, EVs are much more eco-friendly and do not emit harmful gases. Adopting EVs will help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate climate change. One study by the International Energy Agency, the global EV stock exceeded 10 million in 2020, avoiding around 40 million tons of CO2 emissions, equivalent to the annual CO2 emissions of Portugal. The report suggests that if the number of EVs increases to 145 million by 2030, it could reduce emissions by around 450 million tons of CO2 per year. The cost factor. Another reason why people are shifting to EVs is that they are becoming more affordable. EV prices have been falling consistently, and the cost of EV batteries has reduced significantly over the years. This has made EVs more competitive with traditional combustion engine vehicles, especially considering long-term running costs. Furthermore, the cost of electricity is significantly lower than gasoline or diesel, resulting in lower fuel costs for EVs. In addition, EVs require less maintenance than combustion engine vehicles as they have fewer moving parts. This can result in significant cost savings in the long run. The decreasing cost of EVs and their lower operating costs compared to traditional combustion engine vehicles make them more affordable for consumers. This affordability factor is a key driver of the growing adoption of EVs worldwide, as consumers seek to reduce their transportation costs while being environmentally conscious. In addition, as more EV models become available in the market and production scales up, the economies of scale will drive the prices down even further, making EVs even more accessible to a broader range of consumers. This trend will continue as governments and automakers recognize EVs' economic and environmental benefits and invest in the necessary technology and infrastructure to support their widespread adoption. The convenience of charging. One of the biggest drawbacks of EVs was the lack of charging infrastructure. However, this is changing rapidly, and there are now various EV charging options, including home, workplace, and public charging stations. The convenience of charging an EV is becoming a significant factor in people's decisions to switch to EVs. Home charging stations are becoming more affordable and can be installed easily. Workplace charging stations are also becoming more common, and some companies offer free charging to their employees. Public charging stations are also becoming more prevalent, and governments are investing in building more charging stations to encourage EV adoption. Moreover, the charging time is also reducing, with fast chargers becoming more common. Fast chargers can charge an EV up to 80% in around 30 minutes, making long-distance travel more feasible. The driving experience. One of the significant advantages of EVs is their driving experience. The instant torque provided by electric motors offers quick acceleration, making EVs fun to drive. Their quiet and smooth operation also creates a relaxing and comfortable driving experience. Regenerative braking is another feature that enhances the driving experience of EVs. This technology converts the kinetic energy produced during braking into electrical energy stored in the battery. It increases the vehicle's overall efficiency and reduces wear and tear on the brake pads. The advanced technology features of EVs, such as over-the-air updates, provide a level of convenience and future-proofing that traditional combustion engine vehicles cannot match. These updates allow automakers to improve the vehicle's performance, add new features, and fix issues remotely without needing the owner to visit a service center. EVs offer better acceleration and handling than traditional vehicles due to their lower center of gravity and instant torque. This provides a more responsive and engaging driving experience, making EVs popular for those who value performance and driving pleasure. The future of EVs. The future of EVs looks bright. The global demand for EVs is increasing, and more automakers are entering the EV market. Governments also offer incentives to promote EV adoption, such as tax credits, subsidies, and rebates. The federal government is making significant efforts to support the adoption of electric vehicles by addressing the two major barriers to adoption: vehicle cost and charging station access, to prevent range anxiety. The government is partnering with private industry and states to invest in targeted EV market investments, which are part of the Infrastructure Investments and Jobs Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. The combined investment of approximately $100 billion is 30 times more than the federal government has invested in electric transportation to date. These investments will directly impact the light-duty consumer and fleet markets, making EVs more affordable and addressing range anxiety. The expected boost of 20% in the American EV fleet by 2030 is a significant step toward achieving the electrification ambitions of major automakers, including GM, Ford, Volkswagen, Volvo, Jaguar Land Rover, Hyundai, and Honda, who have made commitments to electrify most or all of their vehicle offerings as early as 2025 and as late as 2040. The electric vehicle revolution is well underway, and it's clear that the trend towards EV adoption is not slowing down. From initial concerns about range anxiety and charging infrastructure to the cost and convenience factors that are driving the shift towards EVs, the benefits of electric vehicles are becoming more apparent every day. With their environmental benefits, lower running costs, and improved performance, it's no wonder that more and more people are choosing to go electric. As technology continues to advance and charging infrastructure becomes more widespread, the future of transportation is undoubtedly electric. So if you haven't joined the EV revolution, it's time to suit up and prepare for an electrifying ride. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. By subscribing, you'll never miss an update, and if you have any questions or comments about the topic we discussed in this video, please leave them in the comment section below.